for the board to share how they have been working through COVID-19 and their experience, how we have been reading through since it hit us since March when we went into lockdown. So Lahiro, you want to share some quick story or anything of how you're reading through this?
Sure. So when COVID hit us, like many of the organizations as well as all of us, we discuss about digital transformation and many other things. But all the delivery and everything was traditional method, classroom based. You come to dinner meetings, you come to study groups, you come to workshops. But suddenly when this happened, there was not any other alternative rather than going to digital. But luckily for us, the transformation was smooth and we knew the group beforehand, especially in the study group. And now I think all the experience with the webinars as well as other things we have done in the digital media, I think the blended delivery approach would be the way to go in future. We might have some in-person ones like the networking and other things are a lot more different when you're in person, but I think that's one of the good things. If you look at the positive side, we can have more reach as well as more people can join our events. That's why we were able to do the next study group free of charge for our members, especially because when you look at the cost and other things, delivering these virtually compared to in person, it's day and night, as well as accessibility is day and night as well.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Lahiro. Okay, Thomas, over to you.
COVID is absolutely a very difficult time for everyone. But as the communications team, it presents a unique opportunity to change and adapt how we communicate and how we push forward content. And where we're seeing this going is very much a change from just having very static content out online to being able to create really good image, really good video quality content that we can start pushing out. And then we can use some amazing back-end analytics systems to see what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. So in a lot of ways, for learning and for growing, COVID is, I mean, as difficult as it is, it's also very much an opportunity to grow as a chapter and as volunteers.
Okay. Great, thank you so much, Thomas. Gurjeet.
So with the portfolio that I have in marketing and sponsorship, the team that I have working with me, so Saeed is on the call today. We have Tim, who's not on the call today, but very much involved in the portfolio. We have another person joining the portfolio, which hopefully will happen relatively quickly here. But the challenges that we faced as COVID became just the most important thing as far as adjusting to work environments, or the way that we present information, the way that we speak to sponsors, the way that they bring forward suggestions or concerns about what their sponsorships are gaining for them as far as assets go. All of those things come into question. So as you may or may not know, the sponsors that we have within PMI Southern Alberta Institute or the chapter, as with any other chapter, are very heavily reliant on visibility for their brand to all of our members, to the rest of our sponsor community, to the larger audience that would be most beneficial to their organization. So the way that we're looking at the assets that we provide to these sponsors at this point in the game has to change. And the opportunity that comes to us at a time like this really is to take a good hard look at what are the assets that we're offering. What on the other side is it that the sponsors get the most value from? And how can we maximize the value for those sponsors in an environment such as COVID, where most everything is virtual at this time? So that visibility becomes a lot more difficult to bring forward versus in in-person events and conferences and golf tournaments and everything that they had otherwise signed up for. So that's the challenge as well as the opportunity that we're faced with right now. So marketing goes hand in hand with that. What is it that we will bring forward for our sponsors? What are we offering them? Which assets will bring them the most value and the best bang for their buck, to be quite honest, at a time where everything is essentially changing to an online presence versus an in-person presence. So Saeed and I and Tim, we're working with Candida, who previously was the VP of Marketing and Sponsorship before her role as president. So we're working together just with the rest of the board to ensure that we are bringing the best value forward for our sponsors. The Giving Back campaign is one of the things that we've pivoted to during this time of COVID. And with that campaign, we are looking to, as the name suggests, really give back to what our community needs the most at this time. So we're looking for all of your input. We're looking for suggestions. We're looking for different ways of partnering, both with our sponsors as well as with our members. So we're looking for all of those suggestions to be the most impactful organization that we can be, and put our best foot forward for the communities that we all live and work in. So that is, the challenge as well as the opportunity that we find ourselves in, and it's definitely a very creative time. So as Saeed can point out, we're going through some very creative conversations, and it's a lot of fun. So we're happy to keep you all informed of how we progress with that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Gurjeet. Tanya.
Hey guys, you know what? So some of the changes that have taken place, because my portfolio for the most part manages programs, is working with my volunteers to change some of our offerings to virtual when we can, and also come up with some longer term plans with respect to our programs that we were not able to offer virtually right at the moment. So we're just working on that right now. I think the majority of my time right now is spent answering a lot of inquiries that are coming in through the web. I'm getting a lot of questions from members just about logins, renewals, things like that. So for the most part, during this difficult time, I've been doing my best just to support all of that feedback and all the questions. I think the other thing we're trying to do right now as a chapter is get a better understanding of what our membership needs and what our membership is looking for with respect to their professional development. We've shifted to a virtual offering for our PDU granting right now, and we're trying to get a better idea of what do our members actually need and what is going to allow them to take an hour out of their day to attend one of our sessions. And so I did have an opportunity to work with our VP of programs as well as our VP of professional development to try to come up with a survey. But each of you as volunteers, you yourselves are members as well as you have your own network. So if there is any feedback you're receiving in terms of the type of content that you think that people would like to see, the topics, what types of webinars.
Yeah,
Just
Tanya,
give me just one
actually,
second.
no worries. I'll just dip in here. So I have a request from Elena, our VP of programs, that she will actually send out the survey to our volunteers as well. So you should get, when you get that, please do fill that out for us so that she get some further feedback from volunteers as well. So you will be getting the copy of, to fill that survey. So that was a message I was.
Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. So that's exactly.
Yeah. And I've especially asked me, please let them know. I'm like, for sure. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Tanya. Candida. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that nice mute button. I wonder how many times it just gets, touched and stuff. Yes, I think just to even reiterate what at the beginning of, welcoming you and everybody, we are really working hard. We have such a hard working board. Everybody is really, just so proud on how they've just had to, on a dime, like turn of a dime, sorry, that's what I'm trying to say, is really, you know, what we were so used to doing face to face and meeting you all and just, you know, wanting to have that network and that social part of face to face, how we've had to just really turn it upside down and be in virtual and really putting things together that really created that value, right? And I think that's just really one of the major importance of or our objective is to really continue to provide that value that we have within the community, that we provide an element of that networking, and really making sure that we keep our members, right? We want to retain our members. We understand everything that's you know, caused every individual in their household. Everybody has a different situation. Things have changed so much, and we have to change with that. We have to be the change. We want to be the change makers. We want to be that influencers in this whole new transition. This, you know, we are moving fast. The future is just accelerating. Even PMI Global is moving at such a fast speed where we are, you know, being more virtual on everything online. You get to see that we're able to write our exams at home online. Even, you know, just recently they've announced that even the application for, you know, certification is really easy. So there's so many changes, and we have to keep up with that, and everybody's working really hard. And like I said, volunteers, we are all volunteers, we all have our situations, but our heart's in there, and we really value everything that you do.